So have you ever had that experience where you start something and you're really enthusiastic and it feels great and you know this is what you want to do, and then maybe a couple of weeks in you find either you've forgotten to do it or you haven't got the time anymore, or the enthusiasm's not there. So whatever it is that made you want to start this in the first place and gave you all that wonderful impetus that we all have when we start something has just sort of fizzled out to nothing. And then we leave it, and then we find that we try again later, whether it's a new regime, a new diet, whether it's a project we'd like to start, whether it's a big dream that we really want to create a community somewhere, whatever it is, it keeps coming back, it keeps nudging us. It won't quite let us rest, and yet somehow we can't bring it to fruition. And this happens on a grand scale, and it happens on a small scale in our day-to-day lives with the habits. You know, we often know, I don't want to feel fearful anymore. I don't want to be jealous. I don't want to clam up in meetings and feel like I can't really say what I want to say. And yet somehow making those changes it is always quite out of reach, or somehow isn't sustainable. At Handpicked Life, we use a really simple model that we've created that really helps us to look at this in a way that's really balanced and to give everybody the components that are needed in order to see something through. I'm Lianne Campbell, and I'm a life and wellbeing coach and a somatic guide and a co-creator of a Handpicked Life, which is a membership platform that creates a container so you can handpick a life that you really love. And this is to give you a taste of the blueprint that we use in any area of life with anything that we wish to create or we wish to change. Now, the rhythm and the cycle is really based on nature, because everything in nature has a time to shed, to let go, has a time to rest and dream, has a time to really act, grow, shoot forward, and a time to celebrate, to give gratitude, to gather up the harvest. And when we use a cycle like this and we use all the components, then it really helps us in any area of our lives. Now, our society really values half of this, or a piece of it. It values the ideas into action, get into action, productivity, create for the sake of creating often. And what often is missing is that time to really embody, to get really clear about the direction you're going in. And also, not very high up on the list is that sense of fulfillment and joy and expansiveness. It's often doing for doing's sake, or having to do something, or being a certain way because that's what we're told we should be. Now, with this model, it really gives you a chance to get clear on what lights you up, what is important to you, because what is important to you is also important to the rest of the world. Because when we're full and happy and complete, that's when what we're giving is really generous, is really authentic, and that has a ripple effect that goes out into the world and affects everything that you come into contact with. So when we're looking at life in this way and we're using these rhythms, it's a win-win. We get more expansive, we're able to bring more into our lives, and we can only give what we have. We can't give what we don't have. So when we build on that feeling of love and joy and expansiveness, that's what we can give into the world. So this is all about really creating a kinder, healthier, happier world, one person at a time. So what we've created is a cycle. And please understand that there are cycles within cycles. So the quadrants, although we present them in a linear fashion, they're part of a whole, and they're interchangeable and they support each other. And the beauty of that is that as you go through, you're building on tools, on an understanding of ways that you can draw from. So when you're at a point that you may be lacking in a certain area, you can pull from strengths from other areas. The more you do this, the more you embody it, the more you experiment with it, the more you're going to love it. It's a really valuable tool that has worked for many, many people, and it's the foundation of a handpicked life.